almost forgot to turn my freaking my microphone on. But peace to everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the morning brew. Shinigami Israel here, and we're here to do some Bible study. So we last time we was on here, dang, what did we read? I think we read Genesis chapter 38 through 41. So today we're gonna be on Genesis 42 through 45. And last time we was on here, we seen how Joseph, we seen him already get sold to Egypt as a slave by his own brothers. But while he was sold to Egypt, the Lord was still with him. Like once he got sold and went to Egypt, he was servant of Potiphar, right? But even Potiphar was looking at him like man, you can really, you know, you could really take care of my whole household, you know. And then afterwards, Potiphar's wife pulls up on him and falsely accuses him, because she was trying to lay with him, but he wasn't having that. So she ended up getting him put in prison, but his Lord was still with him even while he was in prison. And then we see that while he was in prison, he had two prisoners that were with him, butler and a chief baker, that both had dreams, and no one was able to interpret these dreams but Joseph. He told them pretty much like, look, both of y'all gonna get out of here in 3 days, but one of y'all is gonna get out of here living, and one of y'all is gonna get out of here and die. And he was right about it. And then the Pharaoh started having weird dreams. And then the one that the I think the butler, the one that got out and still lived, he ended up telling the Pharaoh, like, look, it was a dude back in prison, and he interpreted my dream for me. He could probably do the same for you. So the Pharaoh brought out Joseph, and Joseph interpreted that dream for him, and then Pharaoh put him on high. Pharaoh said, look, only in the throne will I be greater than you. That shows you, like no matter how bleak your situation is, the Lord can still be operating with you behind the scenes. The Lord can still be using you as a light. So no matter how bleak the situation, hey, always keep your head up. But I want to start off with a psalm or something before I get into the actual study session. So I'm gonna just read Psalm 1. That's always a good one right there. I just always want to have some opening scriptures to come in and open this up, get us ready for this word we're about to receive. But before I start, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one true God, the Holy One of Israel, and there is no other. So Psalm 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the day of judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So with that being said, hey, let's get into it. Genesis Genesis 42, and we gonna get it going. Hold on, there we go. If y'all ever wonder why it's called the morning brew, because right here, I wake up, don't want some tea, don't want some coffee or something, we brewing, but we brewing too. You feel me? Anyway, let's get into it. Genesis 42. It says, oh wait, hold up. I gotta scroll along with y'all. I always forget that. So it says, now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another? So the topic of the situation right now is Jacob. We've been talking about Joseph, Jacob's son lately, but we're going back to Jacob now. And Jacob, he should still be in the land of Canaan. So it says, now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob looked unto his sons. Well, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get ye down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. Excuse me, y'all. It says, and Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. Okay, so now the sons of Israel, at least 10 of them, they going down into Egypt to get corn because of the famine that's in the land, right? So, they Jacob, their father just told him, like, look, go down and get you some corn. I heard that there was corn in Egypt. So go down there and get us some. So it says, verse 3 again, and Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, because Benjamin and Joseph came from the same mother. I think they both came from Rachel, if I'm not mistaken. So it says, and the sons but Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. And he was right, rightfully so, because the last time, he sent his youngest son out to check on. He sent his youngest son out with his brothers. He didn't come back. That was Joseph, and he got sold as a slave. So the next one in line, Benjamin, the youngest, he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep him here with me unless something happens to him while y'all out going to Egypt. So that's why he says, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. Verse 5, and the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. See, the famine done spread everywhere now, also to the land of Canaan. Verse 6, and Joseph was governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. So now Joseph, he's the governor of the whole land of Egypt, and he sees his brethren. He knows them right off the bat. But they look and they don't recognize him because I mean that's their brother and he's the governor of Egypt. He probably done shaved his head. He probably looks a lot different. But he still recognized them, but he wasn't trying to let the cat out the bag yet. He spake unto them roughly, you know, and probably spake to them with in Egyptian probably, because we see in another place, if we end up getting to it in this video, that he spake to them with an interpreter, you know. So so he's making himself a stranger to his brothers so that they don't recognize him. So the middle of verse 7, and he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. Right? Verse 9. And it says, and Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. And he said unto them, ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land are ye come. And it says that Joseph remembered the dreams which he had of them. Let's check out what dreams he had. It says, Genesis 37 and verse 5, and Joseph dreamed a dream and told it to his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have heard. This is when he was younger. This is why they were so jealous of him, because of this dream right here. But we see now that it's coming to pass. So let's see what this dream was in case we don't forgot. Let's get a refresher. It says, and he said unto them, Hear I pray you this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. So pretty much we were binding sheaves like of wheat or something in the field. And my sheaf arose and stood tall. And your sheaves, talking about his 11 brothers, stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. Obeisance is bowing down. So they bowing down to his sheaf. But we see, hold on. I gotta get back. But we see that once his brothers get to Egypt, that this whole dream is coming true. That's why it says, and Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. And he said unto them, Ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land are ye come. But what do they do? Like what did they do? It said that they bow themselves before him with their faces to the earth. So yeah, Joseph's dream really came true, you know. So again, that's why I said Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. Continuing on, and it says, and he said unto them, Ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land, ye are come. And what they say to him, and they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land are ye come. So Joseph really just playing with him for real. Like his brothers are trying to plead their cause, and he steady calling them a spy. Verse 13, and it says, and they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. Talking about Joseph. Like he's talking about Benjamin, the one that's with the father, and one is not. That's talking about Joseph right there. Because they still don't know what happened to Joseph. So it says, verse 14, and Joseph said unto them, This is that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies. So now he's like, look, okay, I'm gonna prove you real quick. So I'm gonna keep one of y'all prisoner while y'all go and grab your youngest brother to prove y'all words, because y'all did say we got one more little brother and he's at home with our dad. So he's like, look, okay, I'm gonna keep one of y'all and y'all go fetch the other little brother, right? So he says, verse 17, and he put them all together into ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them, The third day, this do and live, for I fear God. Let me scroll up. Verse 19, it says, If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. But bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are very guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore, this distress has come upon us. So now they thinking back to when they sold Joseph, and then they were like, Man, it's turned right around and bite us in the butt. It said they said we are very guilty concerning our brother. Still talking about Joseph, in that we saw the anguish of his soul, like bro, we saw our brother distressed, but we still sold him off. We still put him in that pit and sold him off, and then told his father that he was dead. It says, and when he besought us and we would not hear, so he even cried toward us, and we pretty much stopped our ears up. Therefore this distress has come upon us. So he's like, It's pretty much God's way of getting us back. So verse 22, and Reuben answered them, saying, spake I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child, and you would not hear? Therefore, also, behold, also his blood is required. So Reuben's like, look, didn't I tell you not to do that to him? I told like Reuben was really trying to save Joseph. Like he was trying to come back. And like they were trying to put him in a pit and just leave him there. But then Reuben was trying to come back and lift him up out of there. But I think by that time Joseph was already gone or something like that. So um verse 23, it says, and they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. See, like Joseph knows them, but he's making himself strange unto them, speaking to them by an interpreter. So he's probably still speaking Egyptian while the interpreter speaking Hebrew to the Hebrews. Verse 24, and it says, and he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again and communed with them, and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. So it's like they came down here to Egypt to get corn. They paid for the corn. So when they get the sacks of corn, they looking and and they're pretty much like, hold up, didn't we buy this corn? Well, how is our money still here? So like that's that they confused right now. 28, and he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father, unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine to your houses, and be gone. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. Verse 35, and it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. So like they all looking now like, yo, how do we all still have our money when we bought this corn? And Jacob their father said unto them, hold up, let me scroll down. Verse 36. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away? All these things are against me. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, slay my two sons, if I bring him not to thee. So Reuben's like, look, if I don't bring Benjamin back, look, you can kill both of my sons. Like that's how strongly he felt about this. Like if we don't bring your youngest back, look, you could take both of my sons, you could kill them, and deliver them into mine hand, and I will bring him to thee again. And he said, talking about Joseph, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way which ye go, then ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Mm. So like really, like it kind of seemed like Jacob is concerned about Benjamin, because because, like I said, Benjamin and Joseph, they both come from the same mother, Rachel, if I'm not mistaken. So like they're closer than, you know, let's say Joseph and the rest of his brothers. Like let's say they closer than Joseph and Levi, Joseph and Judah and stuff like that, because Benjamin and Joseph, they blood all the way. So let's keep going into chapter 43. It says, and the famine was sore in the land. And it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, go again and buy us a little food. So they done ran out of food after the first time they went to Egypt. So now Jacob's telling them, look, go back to Egypt, get some more food. But it's a hiccup, because what did Joseph tell them? Like, you're gonna have to come back up here with your little brother, right? So it says, and it came to pass, when they had eaten of the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, go again and buy us a little food. And Judah spake unto him, saying, the man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. So like Judah is trying to urge the situation on their father. And Israel said, Israel being synonymous with Jacob, and Israel said, wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? So like Jacob's like, man, why you even tell them you had a little brother? And they said, the man asked us straightly of our state and of our kindred, saying, is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, bring your brother down? So he's like, look, the man asked us straightly. He was like, look, how your father doing? Is he alive? Do you got another brother? So we answered him according to them questions. Like, we didn't know that he was gonna ask us to bring our other brother down. And Judah said unto Israel his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little ones. And I will be surety for him. So pretty much like Judah's about to be insurance for Benjamin. It says, if I bring him not unto thee and set him before thee, then let me bear the blame forever. So like, look, if something happens to Benjamin while we out, look, I will carry that until I die for real. Verse 10, for except we had lingered, surely now we had returned this second time. And their father Israel said unto them, if it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts and almonds. Verse 12, and take double money in your hand, and the money that was bought again in the mouth of your sacks, and carry it again in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight. So we tell him, look, and that money that came back with you, take that back and take double the money, because maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe he didn't realize that he didn't take the money or something like that. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take also your brother and arise, go again unto the man, and God Almighty give you mercy before that man, that he may send you away with your other brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up, and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, bring these men home, and slay, and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. So now Joseph sees his brothers, and he sees Benjamin with them. So he's telling his servants, look, hey, go kill something, make some food real quick. They finna have some lunch with me at noon. So verse 17, and the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time, are we bought in? So like they thinking they coming to Joseph's house because of the little money that was sent back with them. It says, and they said, because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time, are we bought in? That he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house and said, "O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when we came to the end, that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. And other money we have brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money back in our sacks." And he said, "Peace be to you. Fear not. Your God and the God of your father hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money." And he brought Simeon out unto them. And the man brought out the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender, and they made ready the present against Joseph, came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, "Is your father well, the old man of whom ye spake? Is he yet alive?" So, man, Joseph keeps asking about his daddy. Like every time they come up, like, "Hey, how your dad doing? Is he still alive? How that old man?" And they answered, "Thy servant our father is in good health. He is yet alive." And they bowed down their heads and made obeisance. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son. See, that's why they got so much of a connection, because they got the same mother. And said, "Is this your younger brother, of whom ye spake unto me?" And he said, "God be gracious unto thee, my son." And Joseph made haste, for his bowels did yearn upon his brother. And he sought where to weep, and he entered into his chamber and wept there. So he went by himself and cried somewhere after seeing his little brother. And he washed his face and went out and refrained himself and said, "Set on bread." And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that was an abomination unto the Egyptians. So dude set food for the food for Joseph. He set on food for Joseph, food for the other Hebrews, and then set some for the Egyptians elsewhere, because again it was an abomination to the Egyptians to eat with the Hebrews. So it says, and they sat before him, verse 33. Dang, I done took it all the way down. My bad, y'all. So it says, verse 33, and they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. So it kind of seemed like Joseph might have made them sit down in a particular order, and then when they sat down, they looked around, and they marveled, because it's like because they sat down in the order from oldest to youngest. The oldest, it says, they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. So yeah, they sat kind of lined up, and the men marveled one at another, when like they looked around like, that's strange. And he took and sent messes unto them from before him. But Benjamin's mess was 5 times as much as any of theirs. So Joseph still showing love to his little brother, like he's giving food to all his brothers, but for Benjamin, he's giving 5 times as much. And they drank and were merry with him. And let's keep going in the verse in chapter 44. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, and their asses, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city, and not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, Up, follow after the men, and when thou doest overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have you rewarded evil for good? So he sent away his brothers, right? And then he gets his servant and tells him, look, go after them real quick and ask them, why you rewarding evil for good? You know what? And his brothers are understandably going to be confused. So he says, hold up. Wherefore have you rewarded evil for good? Verse 5. Is not this it in which my Lord drink? Is not this it in which my Lord drinketh, and where and whereby indeed he divineth? Ye have done evil in so doing. And he overtook them and spake unto them these same words. And they said unto him, wherefore saith my Lord these words? So why is this man saying this? God forbid that thy servant should do according to this thing. Behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouths, we brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then will we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? So they're like, look, even the money that was sent back with us, we brought back to you. So how are we even how are we even steal silver or gold from you when we literally brought our money back to you? With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen. So now they're pretty much like, look, we didn't steal anything. So if y'all find anything, look, let that man die, and let us all be servants to this Egyptian man, to this Lord. And he said, look, verse 10. And he said, now also let it be according to your words. With whom it is found shall be my servant, and ye shall be blameless. And they very speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. And he searched, and began at the eldest, and left at the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. So they looking for this gold cup, and apparently there's a golden cup in Benjamin's sack, the youngest brother. Then they rent their clothes and laded every man his ass, and returned to the city, because hey, that's the little brother. That's the one Jacob did not want to send, lest some trouble befalls on him. So it says, verse 14, and Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, what deed is this that ye have done? What ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? So, so he's like, man, what did y'all do? Y'all didn't really think I couldn't divine on y'all, did you? Yeah, he out here really messing with their heads. He said, what is this deed that ye have done? What ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? Hold up, I'm in verse what, 15. So to divine, right? To seek and give omens, to foretell, right? I gotta see what means. So pretty much no. That's what the word what means. So he's like, know ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine, foretell, seek the future, prophesy, things like that. So he's really still just messing with their heads. And it says, verse 16, and Judah said, what shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how can we clear ourselves? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. And he said, God forbid that I should do so. But the man in whose hand the cup is found shall be my servant. And as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. Then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears, and let not thine anger burn against thy servant, for thou art even as Pharaoh. So like Judah's asking for mercy, and he's like, look, like don't be angry with me, because pretty much, bro, you are just like Pharaoh. In regards to stature, in regards to his position, right? So it says, verse 19, my Lord asked his servant, saying, have ye a father or a brother? And we said unto my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. So he's like, look, we told you we got a father and a little brother, and we told you that little brother is dead, and he's the only one left of his mother, right? And thou sayest, oh wait, verse 22, oh wait, 21, I mean, and thou saidest unto thy servants, bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. And we said unto my Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. And thou saidest unto thy servants, except your youngest brother come down with me, ye shall see my face no more. And it shall come to pass, when we came up unto thy servant, my father, we told him the words of my Lord. And our father said, go again, and buy us a little food. And we said, we cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down. For we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. And thy servant, my father, said unto us, ye know that my wife bare me two sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. And if ye take this also from me, and mischief befall him, ye shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to thy servant, my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the lad's life, it shall come to pass that when he seeth the lad is not with us, that he will die. And thy servant shall bring down the gray hairs of thy servant, our father, with sorrow to the grave. So he's like, look, if you keep our little brother, like we told him that we were gonna bring him back, and if we didn't, he said, like, look, if you don't bring him back, I'm pretty much gonna die. So look, we don't want our dad to die, so let's take our little brother. It says, for thy servant became a surety for the land unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the blame to my father forever. So like that's that. So Judah stepping up, he's like, look, I told my father, like if we didn't bring our little brother back, that I would bear that blame for the rest of my life, forever. Now therefore, I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad a bondman to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me? Lest peradventure I see the evil that should come on my father. Dang, I keep going down, reading down and not scrolling for y'all. But I mean, hey, I feel like y'all should have Bibles too. But I mean, I'm really just doing the whole screen thing for the ones that don't got Bibles. So I apologize. I'm gonna try to be more cognizant about, you know, dang, I can't even zoom out. Oh wait, hold up, maybe I can. Okay, I can do something like that. Okay, bet. So let's keep going in chapter 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known to his brethren. So pretty much he told like all his servants, the Egyptians and stuff like that, look, everybody leave up out of here. So it was just nobody but Joseph and his brethren in the room, right? And he stood, and there he stood with no man with him, while Joseph made himself known to his brethren. So now he's about to open himself up, and he wept aloud. And the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence, because like they thought this man to be dead. Next thing you know, he's the whole governor of Egypt. He the one selling y'all corn, right? And got the power to take y'all, put you into prison, do whatever. He got all the power right now. So it says, verse 3, and Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Does my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither. So he's like, look, I'm Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. But afterwards he's like, look, don't be grieved, don't be upset that you sold me here. Like, don't feel guilty. For God did send me before you to preserve life. So even with your screw ups, God still had a plan for me. That's powerful right there. Like y'all thought y'all was selling me off and doing something bad to me, but hey, the Lord was with me, and he gave me pretty much this whole country, right? So it says, for these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, yet there are 5 years, because he said it was gonna be 7 years of famine, right? So it says, and yet there are 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by great deliverance. And now it would, and my bad, verse 8. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. And that's crazy how he said he made me a father to Pharaoh. This man really sonning the Pharaoh for real. So it says, verse 9, haste ye, go up to my father, and say unto him, thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not, and thou shalt dwell, in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. So he's like, look, go get Pops, go get Benjamin. Oh wait, no, Benjamin already there with us. Go get Pops. Tell him, look, Joseph made it. He made it out the hood. He out here. He's ruler over Egypt. So he's like, look, I'm gonna set you up in a nice little city in Egypt, and there we can continue to grow. You're gonna have food. You're gonna be taken care of, right? And bring your children, your children's children, your flocks, and your herds, and everything you got. Verse 11. And there will I nourish thee, for yet there are 5 years of famine, lest thou and thy household and all that thou hast come to poverty. So like Joseph don't want his family to come to poverty. So he's like, look, I'm gonna take care of y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all to Egypt, and I'm gonna nourish you. Verse 12, and behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. So he's like, look, and you do see that it is me, Joseph. And even Benjamin recognizes. Verse 13, and ye shall tell my father all my glory in Egypt, of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall haste and bring down my father hither. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brethren and wept upon them. And after that, his brethren talked with them. And after that, his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. And the Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto thy brethren, This do ye, lade your beasts, and go, and get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. Now thou art commanded, this do ye, take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones, and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. So now even Pharaoh's on board. He's like, look, Joseph's brother's here, that Joseph's my guy. So I'm gonna bring his family, I'm gonna bring his pops, I'm gonna bring everything that he got, their wives, their little ones, all that. And it says, verse 20, also regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours. So, like, even Pharaoh's pretty much giving all the good of the land of Egypt to the children of Israel. And that's crazy. And he says, verse 21, and the children of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. And to all of them he gave each man changes of raiment. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of raiment. So still he still got a good amount of love for Benjamin. It's like, man, that's my little bro. I'm gonna give him 5 outfits, and what he say, and 300 pieces of silver. Y'all other brothers, I love y'all, but y'all can get some clothes, but Benjamin is my guy. I gotta give him a little more. And it says, verse 23, um, and to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she asses laden with corn and bread and meat for his father by the way. And he sent his brethren away, and they departed. And he said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way. And they went up out of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor of all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed him not. So now Jacob's like, it say his heart fainted because he didn't believe him, right? And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. So it said his heart fainted, but his spirit revived once he seen the asses laden with the goods, right? And verse 28, and Israel said, It is enough. Joseph, my son, is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die. So that was what, Genesis chapters 42 through 45. And I'm gonna close off with a proverb. I ain't gonna do a whole chapter of Proverbs, but you know, Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, that's like wisdom, you feel me? And we all need a little reminder of some wisdom. So I'm gonna hit you with that Proverbs 2. It says, uh I'm reading 2 through 5. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, incline thy my bad. Let me restart. Verse 2 says, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as hid treasures, then thou shalt understand the fear of God and find the knowledge. Oh, wait. It says, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. So I'm gonna just read that one more time, all the way through, just with no interruptions or with no mistakes, Lord willing. It says, my son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom and apply thy heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as hid treasures, Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. And I pray that the Lord add a blessing to reading, hearing, and doing of his word. Shinigami Israel, and I pray that y'all got some understanding in Jesus' name. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow, or well, Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow for another installment of the Morning Brew, and we're gonna probably read the last 5 chapters of Genesis, because I ain't just gonna read 4 chapters and just leave it at one. You feel me? So yeah, we probably gonna read the last 5 chapters of Genesis, and I think then what we doing after Genesis? I think, oh yeah, Mark. Yeah, after Genesis, we're gonna go to Mark. Because usually I got this little spin the wheel thing, and I just kind of spin the wheel on whatever whatever we reading. So yeah, Mark was the next one. So yeah, Lord willing, hope y'all got some understanding. Hope y'all enjoy this. Hope y'all enjoy hanging out or whatever this morning. And